On January 15, 1929, in Atlanta, Georgia, a boy was born who would one day change the world. Martin Luther King Jr. grew up in a segregated America, a society where the color of your skin dictated where you could live, learn, and even drink water. Yet, from this world of division, he dreamed of a nation where people would be judged not by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. His story is not just a chapter in history, it's a timeless testament to the power of a dream. King was raised in a family that valued faith and education above all else. His father was a respected Baptist minister and his mother a devoted teacher. Their home was a sanctuary of learning and principle, instilling in young Martin a deep sense of justice and a powerful moral compass. He was a brilliant student, so much so that he skipped multiple grades in school. Excelling academically, he entered Morehouse College at just 15 years old. It was here and later at Crozer Theological Seminary and Boston University, where he earned his doctorate, that his philosophy began to crystallize. Immersed in the teachings of theologians and philosophers, he discovered the power of nonviolent resistance championed by Mahatma Gandhi. He became convinced that justice could be pursued not through hatred or violence, but through unconditional love and unwavering peaceful protest. These formative years forged the man who would soon step onto the world stage, armed not with a weapon, but with an unshakable idea. The spark that ignited a nationwide movement came on a quiet evening in 1955. Rosa Parks, a seamstress in Montgomery, Alabama, refused to give up her bus seat to a white passenger. Her quiet act of defiance led to her arrest and ignited the Montgomery bus boycott. In the search for a leader, the community turned to the city's new pastor, a 26-year-old Martin Luther King Jr. He hesitated at first, knowing the danger, but his conscience compelled him to accept. Overnight, he was thrust into the spotlight, emerging as the voice of the boycott. For 381 days, thousands of black citizens walked, carpooled, and organized, crippling the city's transit system. King's eloquence and profound courage inspired them to stand firm for their civil rights, even in the face of constant threats, bombings, and arrests. He taught them that their protest was not about defeating anyone, but about awakening the moral conscience of a nation. The success of the boycott proved that nonviolent resistance was a powerful force for change, and Martin Luther King Jr. had become its most compelling advocate. King's vision and the movement he led reached their stunning pinnacle on a hot August day in 1963 during the March on Washington. For jobs and freedom, he stood on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial, looking out at a sea of over 200,000 people who had gathered to demand equality. It was here that he delivered his iconic "I Have a Dream" speech, in a voice that echoed with the power of a prophet and the hope of a generation. He painted a vivid picture of a future free from racial injustice. He spoke of freedom, of equality, and of hope, transforming a political demonstration into a profound moral force that would reshape the soul of America. His words, "I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character," resonated across the country and around the world. It was more than a speech. It was a promise, a challenge, and a dream that America is still striving to fulfill. But the path to justice was fraught with immense struggle. King faced constant and vicious opposition from all sides. Segregationists and white supremacists met his peaceful marches with brutal violence. Critics in the media and government labeled him a radical, an agitator, and a threat to the established order. Perhaps most insidiously, the FBI, under the direction of J. Edgar Hoover, launched a relentless campaign to discredit him. They surveilled his every move, tapped his phones, and spread malicious rumors in an attempt to tarnish his reputation and dismantle the movement from within. The pressure was immense, the personal cost staggering. Yet, through it all, King's commitment to non-violence never wavered. He firmly believed that unearned suffering was redemptive, and that moral courage could ultimately overcome even the deepest-seated injustice. He met hatred with love, violence with peace, and despair with an unyielding faith in the future. On April 4, 1968, that faith was tragically tested. King traveled to Memphis, Tennessee, to support striking sanitation workers who were fighting for better wages and safer working conditions. It was a fight for basic human dignity, the very essence of his mission. As he stood on the balcony of the Lorraine Motel, a single gunshot rang out, and the world lost its greatest champion of peace. He was just 39 years old. His assassination shocked the nation, sparking riots in cities across America as grief and anger erupted. The world mourned the loss of a moral giant, yet, while his life was cut short, his vision endured. His death did not silence his message. Instead, it amplified it, inspiring people of all races and backgrounds across the world to pick up the mantle and continue the fight for justice and equality in his name. The legacy of Martin Luther King Jr. is woven into the fabric of modern America. His tireless leadership and the sacrifices of countless activists paved the way for landmark legislation, including the Civil Rights Act of 1964, which outlawed discrimination, and the Voting Rights Act of 1965. Which secured the right to vote for millions of African Americans. But his impact extends far beyond laws. His life demonstrated that one person, armed with courage, vision, and an unwavering commitment to nonviolence, can indeed bring about monumental change. Today, his name is synonymous with hope, justice, and equality. The Martin Luther King Jr. Memorial in Washington, D.C. stands as a permanent reminder of his ideals. And his powerful words continue to inspire students, activists, and leaders around the globe. He taught us all that the time is always right to do what is right. Martin Luther King Jr. dreamed of a better world, a beloved community where peace and harmony would overcome conflict and hatred. Though he was taken from us far too soon, that dream did not die with him. It lives on in every person who stands up against prejudice, in every community that works for reconciliation, and in every individual who believes in the fundamental principles of equality and justice for all. His remarkable story reminds us that a single voice, united with the courage of many, truly has the power to change the world. Thank you for watching. If you were inspired by this story, please like, share, and subscribe for more content that explores the people and ideas that have shaped our history.